Hello and welcome to 4FS Gaming. The Titanfall franchise currently consists of two AAA games, Titanfall and Titanfall 2, and the mobile strategy game Titanfall Assault. The IP is still relatively new and small in terms of content, but huge in terms of potential. This is probably why game publishing giant EA acquired Respawn, Titanfall's developer, along with the rights to make more Titanfall media in 2017. We know that Respawn are working on a new Titanfall title. It doesn't have a name, a trailer, or a release date, or any other publicly listed information, but they definitely have a team working on something. In this video series, we are going to look at what this future game might look like, as a sequel to Titanfall 2. We will discuss how different game engines might change the core movement mechanics, talk about what forms the Titans may take, and what kind of weapon variety might be implemented, and of course investigate how such a game might straddle the line between creating a competitive sandbox while also keeping the fun factor strong for casual players. Titanfall 2 was great, but where to from here? Remember that this is almost entirely speculation. I have no inside information, I'm just putting my thoughts out there about what would make a truly spectacular addition to the Titanfall franchise. In this video, we shall be looking at the campaign. Now this was a highlight for me from Titanfall 2, and after the first game lacked a proper campaign and facing criticism for it, Respawn pulled out all of the stops and made a really special, if brief, single player experience. In order to see what kind of things we might want to see in a future Titanfall campaign, let's first look at what made the Titanfall 2 campaign so effective. Each level was based around a new mechanic or theme, introducing new elements into the gameplay as you progressed, so that it never became stale. One mission had you parkouring through a giant manufacturing plant, avoiding environmental hazards. Another was based around charging power sockets with an arc gun to alter the environment for you to jump around in. And the best mission of all revolved around jumping between two timelines, which is amazing. These little variations on gameplay are all throughout the campaign, like that bit in the last mission that gives you a smart pistol for a few minutes, and they serve to keep it constantly interesting all of the way through. Another pillar of success was the simplicity of the story, and the focus on a single relationship between pilot and Titan. BT was of course terrifically written, and it paid off with investment from the players emotionally. So in a future campaign, I think the most important thing is to keep throwing new and creative gameplay situations at the player. The worst case scenario is a story full of generic shooter levels where you walk into an area, clear it, and then walk into the next area. Now there are a few ideas that I have that could keep things fresh, using elements that have not been explored already in the Titanfall 2 campaign. For instance, using the utility of other pilot abilities other than Cloak in the campaign. Maybe in different levels the protagonist will be given different abilities, say a grapple for a mission with very little horizontal surface to stand on, making all of the combat occur across aerial obstacles throughout the mission, and of course at high speeds. Holopilot could also be utilised, introducing mechanics where enemies must be misled rather than just shot at. Maybe this could be situated within an encounter with giant fauna, native to a hostile world, that are too tough to shoot effectively. I would also like to see the Titan-pilot dynamic explored a little bit more throughout the actual gameplay. Levels designed in such a way that the player has to frequently enter and exit their Titan during combat to win an encounter could also be fun, or situations where you fight on foot next to your Titan, who tries to protect you as you go. This could be very satisfying, and I'm thinking back to the cover art of Titanfall 2 with Jack and BT sprinting along next to each other. That's the kind of feeling that I'd like to get out of a future campaign level. Also, encounters where you must fight Titans while on foot as a pilot will allow for new levels of gameplay as well. So there are lots of spaces for a future campaign to remain creative and explore new gameplay ideas, and I really hope that Respawn takes this concept to heart. They could even base certain levels upon using different weapon types, like when the Halo franchises uses those classic sniper-oriented levels that everyone seems to love. I'm looking at you, Truth and Reconciliation. Or have a section where your Titan gets the real deal Viper thrusters and can actually fly, because at the end of the day, a Titanfall campaign will succeed when it makes you feel like an absolute badass. It doesn't have to be balanced like multiplayer does, it just needs to be really fun. Just look at this footage of the opening cinematic that describes what it is like to be a pilot.
Of all the things I've seen on the battlefields of the frontier, the pilot is the true dominant force. Fast and agile. Graceful, yet devastating. Perceptive, resourceful, and relentless. A pilot sees the world differently.
We need to feel this. As for plot and character, I don't think that a future game has to continue to explore the characters of Jack Cooper and BT. Yes, they are great, but the Titanfall universe is so large and so minimally explored at the moment that other opportunities may present themselves. Returning as Jack and BT could work well, but there needs to be new arcs for both of the characters. Killing off BT over and over only to revive him using technology on consciousness transfer will only work so many times, and it's probably already been done twice in Titanfall 2.
We got a way out of this one, BT?
Calculating. Protocol 3. Protect the pilot.
BT, what are you doing?
Trust me.
BT!
Personally, I would like to see some more IMC perspectives. I wouldn't even be opposed to a split perspective campaign like in Halo 2, where you alternatively run missions as an IMC and a militia pilot with different kits and titans to shake up the gameplay. I'm definitely hungry for more lore about the Titanfall universe, and so adding to that in any way is going to be great. One last comment I will make is that it would be great to have a longer campaign than Titanfall 2, which was over all too quickly, so a few more levels would be pretty good as well. Titanfall 2 essentially consisted of 2 acts, the first act surviving alone, and the second pushing the fight to the IMC, with the last mission acting as a self-contained third act. A full 3-act campaign would be greatly appreciated, provided of course that Respawn are able to think up enough interesting gameplay experiences to fill all of the levels, because it is still better to go for a short campaign than to fill it up by throwing in generic and repetitive encounters. The pacing was really good in Titanfall 2. Nothing ever overstayed its welcome before the next gameplay gimmick took over. So there are my thoughts on a future Titanfall campaign. In the next installment, we will discuss how core gameplay mechanics may appear and explore the tension between creating a platform for competitive culture and providing a really fun experience to casuals. Because this is something that's somewhat divided the community a bit when it comes to comparing Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2. If you've enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe. 4FS Gaming also now has a Patreon page, so if you want to support and partner with us, please check out the link in the description below. Our patrons will receive early access to our videos, a say in what kind of content we produce, and of course will appear in the end of our videos. So far, this is a list of all our patrons. Our first patron will be able to choose a topic for an entire video, so go and check that out. We also have our Discord server up and running, which is where you can go if you want to team up with us on the Frontier, or just chat, and that's linked in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching. This is Ascendance from 4FS Gaming.